Have you ever pondered how your daily habits might be impacting the future of our planet? It's a question we don't always stop to consider, yet it's one that holds immense weight. Today, we're going to delve into the complex and pressing issue of climate change, a conundrum that our world grapples with each passing day. Climate change, in its simplest definition, is the long-term alteration of temperature and typical weather patterns in a place. And though it might seem like an abstract concept, its impacts are real, tangible, and happening right now. From the intensifying heat waves making summers increasingly unbearable to the melting polar ice caps raising sea levels, climate change is not a future threat. It's a present crisis. But why is it so crucial to address this issue? Well, the answer lies in the fact that climate change doesn't just affect the weather. It influences our food security, our health, our economies, and even our homes. It's a domino effect of problems that could lead to displacement, conflict, and loss of life if left unchecked. Now, let's bring this issue closer to home. Our everyday activities, the things we do without a second thought, contribute to this problem. Every time we leave a light on unnecessarily, drive instead of walk, or choose a plastic bag over a reusable one, we're adding to the emissions that warm our planet. It's easy to think that our individual actions don't make a difference in the grand scheme of things. But when there are 7.8 billion of us on this earth, those small actions quickly add up. But here's the silver lining. Just as our actions can contribute to the problem, they can also be part of the solution. We're not powerless in the face of climate change. We can make choices that reduce our impact and help safeguard our planet. Understanding the problem is the first step. Now, how can we be part of the solution? As we move forward, remember that it's not just about saving the planet. It's about ensuring a sustainable and habitable world for generations to come. What if I told you your choices could make a world of difference? It sounds almost too good to be true, doesn't it? But it's not. Every single one of us has the power to dramatically reduce our carbon footprint, and it starts with the choices we make every day. Take the 3 R's, for example. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. These aren't just catchy words to remember, they're a way of life. By reducing our consumption, we cut down on waste and save precious resources. Reusing items instead of throwing them away keeps them out of landfills and reduces demand for new products. And recycling, of course, gives materials a second life, reducing our need to extract and process raw resources. And what about our diets? Believe it or not, the food we eat can have a huge impact on the environment. A plant-based diet, for instance, requires less water, land, and energy to produce than a meat-based diet. Plus, it emits fewer greenhouse gases. So, by choosing to eat more fruits, vegetables, and grains, and fewer animal-based products, we can significantly reduce our environmental impact. Then there's transportation. Cars are a major source of greenhouse gas emissions, but there's an easy solution: public transportation. By opting to take the bus, train, or bike instead of driving, we can cut down on emissions and help clear the air. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's great, but can my individual actions really make that big of a difference? The answer is a resounding yes. Each of these choices may seem small on their own, but together they add up. Think of it as a ripple effect. Your choices influence others, who then influence others, and so on. Before you know it, those ripples have turned into waves of change. Individual actions matter, but they are not enough. Let's delve into larger-scale solutions. Because, while our personal choices can and do make a difference, we can't solve this problem alone. It's going to take all of us working together to turn the tide on climate change. Imagine a world powered entirely by the sun, the wind, and the water. Sounds like a dream, right? But what if I told you that this dream is not as far-fetched as it might seem? Welcome to the green energy revolution, where renewable resources are championed. The importance of transitioning to renewable energy sources cannot be overstated. These sources, namely solar and wind power, are abundant, sustainable, and most importantly, they do not contribute to climate change. They are the key to decarbonizing our energy system and thus our planet. Let's take a peek at the progress we've made so far. Wind and solar energy have experienced exponential growth over the past 2 decades. In fact, in some parts of the world, they are now cheaper than fossil fuels. Moreover, countries around the globe are setting impressive renewable energy targets. For instance, Scotland aims to generate 100% of its electricity from renewables by the end of this decade. However, as with all grand endeavors, there are challenges to overcome. One of them is the intermittent nature of these energy sources. The sun doesn't always shine and the wind doesn't always blow. This calls for innovative solutions, such as advanced energy storage systems and smarter electricity grids. Another challenge is the need for significant investments in infrastructure. To fully harness the power of wind and solar, we need to build more wind farms and solar panels and upgrade our power grids. But the benefits far outweigh the costs. Not only would we be protecting our planet, but we would also be creating jobs and boosting economies. The green energy revolution is more than just a technological shift. It's a societal shift. It's a shift in the way we think about energy, about our planet, and about our future. It's about realizing that we have the power to change the world for the better. Transitioning to green energy is crucial, but what else can we do? Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the actions we can take to combat climate change. What if we could fight climate change by simply planting trees? A question that may sound overly simplistic, yet holds a profound truth at its core. As we delve into the world of reforestation, we find an elegant, nature-based solution to the climate change conundrum. Trees, in their quiet, unassuming way, are true climate warriors. They stand tall, their leaves rustling in the breeze, providing shade and shelter, but they do much more than that. They are nature's own carbon sequestration system, absorbing carbon dioxide from the air we breathe. This process, known as photosynthesis, not only gives us oxygen, but also traps the excess carbon that contributes to global warming. Imagine for a moment a world where every city street, every open space, every backyard is filled with thriving, healthy trees. Each one of those trees would be hard at work every day, pulling carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere and storing it in their trunks, roots, and leaves. It's a breathtaking vision, isn't it? Reforestation is not a new concept, but it's one that's gaining traction as a viable solution to climate change. There's a certain symmetry to it, a balance. We as a species have been responsible for much of the deforestation and environmental destruction that has led to climate change. It seems only fitting that we also take part in the solution, planting and caring for the trees that can help us fight this global challenge. Yet, while reforestation offers an effective and natural approach to mitigating climate change, it's not a silver bullet. It's a piece of a larger puzzle, a part of a multifaceted strategy that must also include reducing emissions, transitioning to renewable energy, and innovating greener technologies. Trees are our allies in this fight, but we need even more strategies to win. Let's continue to plant the seeds of change, not just in our forests, but in our societies and in our hearts. Because it's not just about saving the planet, it's about creating a future where we can all thrive. Can technology save us from climate change? This question has been at the forefront of scientific discussions for years, and the answer is a resounding yes. Innovative technologies, such as carbon capture and storage, are proving to be game changers in our battle against climate change. Imagine a world where we can literally suck greenhouse gases out of the atmosphere and store them safely away. It sounds like something out of a science fiction novel, doesn't it? Yet, this is no longer a dream, but a reality we're inching closer to every day, thanks to carbon capture and storage technology. But we can't stop there. The field of climate technology is like a vast ocean with depths yet to be explored. We need more research, more development, more bright minds diving in. Because every new discovery, every innovative idea brings us one step closer to reversing the tide of climate change. Innovation is our secret weapon in the battle against climate change. Climate change is a global problem, and it requires a global solution. As we face the challenges of climate change, it is important to remember that we are not alone. This is a shared struggle, one that transcends borders and cultures, and it's one that we can only overcome if we work together. Collective action is at the heart of the solution. This is about more than just government regulations or corporate initiatives. It's about communities coming together to make a difference. Let's take a look at some examples of collective action that are making a real difference. In Costa Rica, the government and local communities have worked together to nearly double the country's forest cover in just a few decades. This is not just about preserving biodiversity. It's also a significant step in absorbing carbon dioxide and mitigating climate change. Meanwhile, in Denmark, a country known for its commitment to green energy, local communities have taken the initiative to create cooperative wind farms. These projects, funded and managed by the people who live nearby, not only generate sustainable energy, but also strengthen community ties and create a sense of shared responsibility. And let's not forget about international cooperation. The Paris Agreement, a landmark in international climate action, showed us what is possible when nations unite for a common cause. The agreement, signed by nearly 200 countries, sets ambitious goals for reducing greenhouse gas emissions and adapting to the impacts of climate change. These examples show us that collective action, from local communities to international cooperation, is not just effective, but essential in tackling climate change. Every action counts. Every voice matters. Together, we can reverse climate change. It's not just a possibility, it's a necessity. So, where does this leave us? We've journeyed through the complexities of the climate change conundrum, and it's evident that the answer lies not just in acknowledging the problem, but in taking action. Each of us holds a piece of the solution in our hands. With small, everyday actions, we can create a ripple effect that leads to a big impact. We've delved into the green energy revolution and seen how renewable energy is not just a dream of the future, but a reality of today. We've discovered the power of planting the seeds of change, literally and figuratively, through reforestation and personal growth. We've explored the power of innovation, proving that human creativity and resourcefulness can indeed turn the tide. And we've recognized that it takes a village, a global village, to combat climate change. Climate change is not a problem for future generations. It's our problem, and it's up to us to fix it.